is my friend. I love fear. Fear allows me to reach my highest potential.
I've been flying me a set. Taking to the moon, we ain't never going back. Hop onto the train, brushing
The real risk is the tech, and that the value is at the heart of the community with your friends.
This ain't budding on a Friday.
Get the fuck off my stage. With the rise of mooncake and the cultural influence of mooncakes here in Asia, how do you see NFTs and mooncake culture intersecting?
I don't ever kill my ass, I put their legends in a grave. Got my girl pregnant, put that baby on the blockchain. Tell me, listen clearly, you best huddle, you never.
Cheers, everybody. It's quite early in the day, but we'll give it a go.
Let's go. Every night I see them child supported tricks and been my fame. Pay pays me every day. Rug boys, they really tried it, but Pay's here to stay. To the moon, boy, Pay pays me every day. You can cope.
What is the most useless kitchen utensil?
Pay pays me every day. Rug boys, they really tried it, but Pay's here to stay. To the moon, boy.
Whoa, would you have intercourse with Sonic, Graham?
Pay really here to stay. Pay really here to stay. Pay really here to stay. Pop, move, boy. Pay really here to stay. Pay really here to stay. Pay really here to stay. Pay pays me every day. Rug boys, they really tried it, but Pay here to stay. To the moon, boy. Pay pays me every day. You can cope, you can see. Pay really here to stay.
If you have any Tone Coin or any Tone memes, please raise a hand.
Pay's here to stay. To the moon, boy. Pay pays me every day. You can cope, you can see. Pay really here to stay.
Woo! Rock and roll, ladies and gentlemen! Monday, meme coins! Ladies and gentlemen, wherever you're watching this, my name is the David Gersh, and this is the Daily Meme Show. Wow! We got a packed show today. A massive guest is coming on. I'm in the presence of royalty, Web3 royalty, ladies and gentlemen. Before we get him on, let me make an announcement. We are giving away one ticket to the NFT Paris next year, which is happening in February. If you would like to bag yourself a ticket to the event, just watch the show and I'll be revealing 5 words throughout the show. Jot them down, then join us in the Telegram here and tell the first person to say the 5 words will win the ticket. And the first word is, ladies and gentlemen, it's Rec Guys, because today our guest is OSF from Rec Guys.
How's it going?
Groovy, very well, OSF. How you doing?
Yeah, doing well, thanks. Doing well. Just another Monday.
Another Monday, another manic Monday in the meme coin markets. Have you been deep in the trenches, or are you in the trenches? Are you that kind of guy?
I think, yeah. I mean, typically I'm usually pretty deep in the trenches. I think in the last few weeks I've been so focused on the rec stuff, I've sort of maybe only had like 1 foot in. I'm not like fully immersed in it, but you know what it's like. You know, if you're trenches, if you go in the trench, you may leave the trenches, but the trenches never leave you. Let me put it that way.
Exactly. We got battle stories, guys. We got battle stories. But OSF, you got a lot going on. You're an artist, you're an entrepreneur, you're a trader. You've exhibited art at the Saatchi Gallery. That's amazing. That's a big feat. You have an NFT collection, I think. Is that how you kind of entered the Web3 space as a creator with the NFT collection?
Yeah, I mean, I started off by buying Bitcoin, then I bought ETH, then I started collecting NFTs. And so I started out as a collector really for NFTs, but I used to create a lot of digital art when I was younger, like when I was a teenager. And so after I collected stuff, I was like, oh, let me have a go at, maybe creating some stuff. And so that's what I did about 2 years ago. And then, yeah, eventually I created Rec Guy as well. So it's a bit of a weird journey. It's definitely not something I thought I would be doing full time or, or even something that people would like. It was just sort of like, oh, let me just try this because it's what I used to do 10 years ago. And yeah, that was it.
Well, I like it. It's got a distinct style. I love it, and it's so spot on with the market. It really is like such a kind of satirical conversation around what's happening every day in the market, and that's why I think people are drawn to it, especially. And it's also very distinct. It kind of mirrors the digital kind of art style. But what I want to ask you is, you've got an NFT collection, you've got a drink, a beverage, and now a meme coin. So it's a lot on your hands. Which project has been the most challenging setting up?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think, honestly, doing the drinks is the hardest thing. Because like when you do stuff in Web3, it's all done pretty quickly, and you click a couple of buttons and then what you wanted to get done is done, and you sort of get that instant gratification. But I mean, manufacturing drinks, it's like you're dealing with, it's not Web 2 or Web 1, it's like Web -5. It's like, you know, oh yeah, it's like
Sounds
old
good.
school brick and mortar business. You're dealing with people who I don't know, dated is the wrong word, but you know, who maybe slower to respond and things take a lot longer to do. And so that was the hardest bit. Like we had the idea and we wanted to create these drinks, but to get from start to finish was a very, very long process and a lot of trial and error, but we got there eventually.
Yeah, amazing. It looks like it's going super well. There's a lot of, I've had them. I was actually very grateful that you provided me a bunch at a party I ran during Zebu. So they're great drinks. I could vouch for those drinks, rec drinks. How have you found, and you just recently launched the rec coin, literally last week, is that correct?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, about a week. Yeah, basically a week and a bit ago. Yeah.
And how have you found adding a meme coin into the rec guy universe? Like, has it been beneficial? Are you excited by it?
Yeah, I am. I think it makes a lot of sense. Like, I literally read someone post something yesterday who was like, I've never bought a rec guy or any of your art because it's too expensive. Because whatever, it costs like a few $100s, or, you know, rec guy is what, like $1,000, a couple of grand. And they said, but I've always wanted to be part of the rect community, so I bought some of the coin. And that, I think, is the whole idea. It's like, right now we have 3,500 rec guy NFT holders, and I think we have just over 3,000 coin holders, but that number of coin holders is going to keep growing because someone can enter the ecosystem and be part of the community for as little as, I would say $1, but the gas on Ethereum is obviously quite big. So maybe, like, let's say little as $10. But still, like, you can't buy any of my NFTs for $10, but you can buy some of the rec coin for $10, and that will give you access to the Discord. It will give you access to our community. It'll give you access to our event. So I think the idea is that, like, you know, yes, we want to sort of like ride the meme coin super cycle wave a little bit, but it does make sense for us. We want to make Rect a really big and massive brand, and we want to have loads of people feel like they're part of it. And in order to do that, I think we need to grow beyond just having the Rect Guy NFT collection. I think we need something that's more accessible to many, many people. And I think that's the idea behind it.
Amazing. Yeah, I mean, that's what I was having a conversation with somebody the other day, and talking about how NFTs are now kind of the Rolexes of a community. You know, like if you owned a Sproto, you can flex your Sproto, whereas, you know, having access to the community via meme coins that's where I find the difference. If that makes any sense. The NFTs, it's kind of pushed NFTs up, I think, on a pedestal, because there's only so much NFTs in one collection.
Yeah,
and we've seen the NFTs rising this weekend, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's weird because like we sort of had like almost 3 years now of like NFTs just being down only, and you've had little pockets of NFT rallies on ETH and people get excited and then it just gets sold back down again. But, you know, like punks are above 150K, apes, you know, getting back close to 20 ETH, pudgy penguins are 15 ETH. Like, these are not insignificant numbers. So I don't know. I wonder if just we were quite, you know, NFTs came towards the end of the last cycle, but that whole period of NFT activity lasted for about 9 months. And so I wonder if we, actually lasted for longer. It lasted after crypto crashed. So I wonder if we maybe are now entering that phase. It's tough to really say because it's true for ETH NFTs, but ordinals, for example, ordinals had a crazy run last year and this year as well. And maybe they're not like by the technical definition NFTs, but they are, they are like similar concepts. So yeah, it's tough to judge, but I just think like NFTs are just a different dynamic than meme coins, right? Like humans since the beginning of time have always collected things, and there is just this nice feeling to like owning whatever it is, like a PFP or a piece of artwork that's custom, that looks and feels unique, and you actually own that thing. You don't really have that same vibe with meme coins. So yeah, I don't know. I think NFTs are definitely definitely going to come back. It's just a question of like, is it the same stuff as 2021 or is it something in a new format?
Yeah, I put NFTs up there now. I can see NFTs are here, and I suppose meme coins are just rallying on behind them. What's been, going back to your meme coin, Retcoin, what's been the biggest, the newest lesson that OSF has learned in launching a meme coin project?
Yeah, it's, there's a lot of things, there's a lot of difficult things around it. Like for us, we advise for the Token Foundation to reward the community because the community is like what sort of like made this project successful and made this project possible. And so it was a bit different to like a regular way meme coin where you just launch it on pump.fun or whatever, and then whoever's in early gets in early, and then people buy, etc. And then if it catches fire, then it does really well, right? So with this, it was done differently, where the Token Foundation actually airdropped a large amount of the supply to Rec Guy NFT holders, to people who bought Rec drinks. So the mechanics and dynamics of it were a bit different to usual meme coins, where probably when it launched, a ton of people basically got free coins and were like, oh, I'm going to sell because I got an airdrop. And so we've had this like period, we've had this period of consolidation now for about a week and a bit. And it makes you wonder sometimes. It's like, well, if you just do it pump.fun style, at least you can get that momentum, you can have more supply control, and it can do a lot better. But at the end of the day, I think like our advice and our recommendations to the foundation has always been like, look, RET has always been a very community focused project, and we have to reward the community. And maybe it does mean it's slower to get off the ground to begin with, but I think, whoever wants to sell, sells. And I think there are plenty of true believers within the RET community who will hold. And that's, once we get past that consolidation period, I think that's when things start to get exciting. And we saw, glimpses of it over the weekend. I think we ran up to like 65 million market cap from a low of about 30. So, and it's just been like a very gradual incline. It hasn't just been like these crazy charts. So yeah, like I think there's definitely a lot I learned about it, and it's been done differently to many other meme coins, but I think it's been done in a way which hopefully creates some long-term success compared to a lot of other stuff, which I think maybe flashes in the pan.
Amazing. Was it why choose Ethereum over Solana? Is that because Rec Guys lives on Ethereum? What was your thoughts there? Yeah,
I think Rec Guy is obviously an Ethereum native project, so on that level it made sense. We still could have done it on Solana, and we had a lot of conversation as to whether that's something we wanted to suggest, but I think on Solana there's just so much competition. There's like so many different meme coins, and I think the coin would have had like really good early success on Solana, better than it has had now. But I think it would have had tougher longer term success, because I think a lot of that capital would have flowed out eventually, after probably like a few days, maybe a couple of weeks. And it would be really hard to get it back because you're just battling against so many other coins in Sol. Whereas on ETH, there aren't really that many coins. So there's obviously Pepe, there's Mog, there's stuff like Bojack and Bobo and Moomin and all that kind of stuff. But there's not that many, and they're all quite tightly held, and they tend to have stronger holders, I think. And obviously it's more expensive on ETH to actually go out there and sell, so people are more incentivized to hold. And I think ETH can have a comeback. I still believe ETH can have a comeback. So I just felt like instead of just doing what everyone else is doing and jumping at like the, you know, having lights in your eyes and jumping at the near-term opportunity, I thought, you know, we should maybe do something that not everyone else is doing and take the other side or something and be a bit contrarian and have a shot, because if ETH does ever come back, and we're going to be in a really good spot, I think, with this. And like I said, there's very little competition. I think people are starting to realize that and starting to compare it to things like MOG, and think, oh wow, like Pepe's at $8 billion market cap, MOG's at 1 billion. Then you have a few coins at like 100 to 200, and then you've got this, which is at like 50. So I think people just put it in that bucket, and it is sort of supposed to be. It is that bucket. Like MOG is a very art-driven coin. This is obviously a very art-driven coin. Similar type of community, and it will have a similar type of like trading price action style to those coins in ETH. So I think I felt like for ETH, it was something that would give us a chance at creating something that would have longer term value than just being a flash in the pan, I think.
I like it, and you got a good point. I mean, a lot of the attention right now is on Solana, but with that comes mass oversaturation. And now we're seeing, you know, people going elsewhere. XRP, for example, you know, look what's happening there. XRP memes, which we'll talk about later on the show, you know, massive potential because it's untapped. Maybe people have exhausted the Solana machine. I don't know. Tell me what you think in the comments. We've got comments to the show as well. Launching MEMECOIN, we said earlier, it's onboarding new community members to the Rect Guy community.
Yeah, I think so. I think we've definitely had a few new people join. I think the funny thing is actually, you know, Rect Guy has obviously got an airdrop, and then after the coin launched, they dropped from a floor price of like 0.5 all the way down to 0.3, which is what you would expect. Like people, you know, maybe bought it for the coin if they're speculating on that and then sold afterwards. But then it actually like rallied all the way back to 0.5 ETH. And what I realized is like people who are buying the coin, like new people coming in buying the coin, also bought Rect Guys, because now it's sort of like, and this is why I think like NFTs and meme coins go really well together. If you're in a meme coin community and you're like, yeah, like I'm so bullish this coin, it sort of makes sense for there to be an NFT that exists that's a PFP that you can wear and like brand and be out there sort of like repping it basically. And that's what happened with the Rect Guy. Like we dropped, and then we had all these new people, you know, buy the coin, just start buying Rect Guys and start having them as PFP. So we've definitely had new members join, which was definitely the ambition behind it, I think. But it was interesting to actually see it play out in a very short space of time as well.
I've been a big fan of you, OSF, been a big fan of the Rect Guy brand for a long time. I came to one of your parties in London and got extremely wrecked, as you would, maybe wrecked more so than usually other people. It was a good experience. So I'm always a big believer in what you're doing. How do you approach building a strong community for a meme coin? Is it different than an NFT collection, or have you taken what you learned with NFTs and you're just carrying that into the meme coin community building?
Yeah, I think building a community is the same really, whatever you do, whether it's a coin, an NFT collection, whatever. I think these meme coin communities now are very similar to the NFT communities before, and I think building it requires the same skill set. So we sort of have an advantage in that respect, where we already have an existing Rect Guy community, which is very strong, that formed throughout a bear market. Like this isn't just like something that was like did really well in a bull market and we had people join. Like this formed throughout a bear market. So the roots of it are very, very strong, and people, I think, feel very attached to it. So the next step is really like, how do we sort of like maybe translate that a little bit into the meme coin world? And then how do we keep growing that and keep attracting new members while keeping like the same vibe and the same roots? So, yeah, some things we have differently. Like we don't have a Telegram group where people can chat. We use the Discord because that's kind of like how we started with the NFTs. And I prefer that. Like I think I've been in a lot of like meme coin Telegram chats, and they're sort of like very scammy, people posting random contract addresses, and it's not really a good vibe. And a lot of people like fudding and stuff like that. Whereas our Discord is a really good vibe. Like there's a lot of banter in it. It always has been a good vibe for the last 3 years. So it's like, why would we change something? Why would we change our sort of like community hangout area, which is already very strong, to something different, which potentially opens it up to issues when we have something that works. So, you know, in that respect, it's different. But like having been through that process already with the Rec Guy community on the NFT side, I think has helped us do it on the meme coin side. And the other thing I'd say is like when you are someone who's like a founder of a project, or you're a owner of a community, or running a community, you just have to be very thick-skinned, and people will always complain and get pissed off and, you know, all that kind of stuff. And I think you just have to, as part of the parcel, you just have to expect it. But I think we've also like I've never tolerated that sort of behavior. I've sort of been like, look, this is what we're doing. You either believe in it or you don't. If you don't believe in it, that's fine. Like I don't really care. You can express that disbelief by just selling your coin or selling your token. And in the words of the great Poopy from Doodles, floor it or get the fuck out. Like it's like, and that's how I view it. Like I'm just like, I have a vision for what I want to do, and that's what I'm going to do. Appreciate suggestions and advice and whatnot, and everyone has a point of view. But at the end of the day, like I'm the one running this and with our team, and it's based on my vision, because for me this is a passion project, and I'm going to do what I want to do. And either you're on board with it or you're not, and that's it. Like there's no in between. There's no tolerance or anything like that. And so I think we will just not hesitate to like just ban people from our Discord, and I don't really care like if they've.
I like it.
If they're whales or what, it doesn't really matter. Like we just have zero tolerance. And I think that's worked pretty well, because people just realize that like, we're not going to put up with shit and give away like power to people who want to FUD or gain control or have like ulterior motives. It's just like, we have a vision. This is the plan. This is what we're going to do. You like it or you don't, doesn't matter. It is what it is. And you can voice your opinion with your ETH. That's the way I view it.
I love it, because it's the same. I've set up 2 coins in the last 2 weeks, which is nuts. Like totally ADHD, batshit crazy behavior. And I'm Telegram, and Telegram's a wild west. Telegram is just, you know, it's rapid, it's fast, it's like, it's like when this, when that, fun. And I do think it's a different environment, as the people in the chat saying, shill meth. They go, I'm shilling meth, buy meth. This is the coin I made. But yeah, Telegram is a fast experience, whereas Discord, you could have more of a, I suppose, calmer experience. Again, a lot of the attention is in Telegram. Before we go on, I need to give out the second word to the NFT Paris winning ticket. We've had Rec Guy. The next word is Moondeng. So jot these down. Yeah, OSF, you can participate as well if you would like to go to NFT Paris. I know you're going there already because you're speaking there. But talking about the bear market, this is a good question. Looking ahead, how hard is it to sustain a project during the bear market? And is this something creators and teams should plan for?
Yeah, the number one thing I think is if your livelihood depends on a project doing well, then that's a very important thing, because if you enter a bear market and your project doesn't make any money and that's your income, then you're kind of fucked, right? You're like, shit, what do I do now? There's a bear market. Maybe I'm just going to go get a real job or something like that. And then you have less time on your project, and then, you know, shit really hits the fan. So I think the number one thing is like, if you're going to launch a project, you should make sure you have like your whole like livelihood, income and all that sort of stuff like set up correctly. And then assuming like, okay, then it's like all about like planning for a bear market. So okay, it's going to happen at some point. Can I save up some income so I can like make it through 1 year or 2 years? Like, what's my runway sort of thing? And that's how I thought about it. I was like, let me just like take some chips off the table here, save some money so I can like last for 2-3 years of like no income, and keep this thing alive. That's the next thing. And if you've planned for that, then it becomes a lot easier, because you're less worried about that. And so you're less worried about like, oh, I need to make money this month, because you sort of like planned for it, or even if you hadn't saved up that money, you've thought about other strategies for it. So that's the number one main thing. The second thing is like, you have to realize like there's going to be a lot of people pissed off, a lot of people will leave, activity is going to drop, and you just have to be aware that that's the case, and that's fine. Like, you can do the bare minimum of like just showing up every day saying GM, and that's enough. But I think just walking away and like not showing up in your own Discord, like not tweeting, and just sort of like, and it's like a hard thing I think people deal with mentally. It's like, oh, I just don't want to face it because it's so tricky. Like, you can't do that. You have to just show up every day. And if you show up every day without any plan, it doesn't matter. Like, I think people appreciate someone just showing up every day doing something. And that's what we did. Like, we had like no plans for Rec Guy. And I was like, well, I don't know what the fuck we're going to do with this thing. I mean, we launched it as a free mint with zero roadmap and all that kind of stuff anyway. So yeah, like, during 2022 and 2023, I was just like, I don't know what we're going to do with this. Like, but what I do know is I just show up in our Discord and just create memes and like have banter. Like, it doesn't take that much effort to do that. And just like, I think just like having fun in doing it is important. And for me, like, I felt like, I think a lot of people get scared of their own Discord. For me, I feel like our Discord is just like a group chat with loads of my mates. Like, or I just go in there, it's just like good banter. So for me, it doesn't feel like a toll to be in the Discord. Like, I've spent less time there recently because I've just been so busy, but I enjoy going in the Discord because it's like a good, I genuinely find it a good laugh, and like all the memes in there like really make me crack up. So constructing it like that, where running a community doesn't feel like a chore or a task or a job, but it just feels like you're having fun and you're with your mates, I think is really important. And I think that's what allowed me to keep going through a bear market. And then I think eventually some idea will come to you, or some inspiration will come to you, and you'll think, oh, that's interesting. Maybe that's what we should work on. That's kind of like how we ended up doing the drinks and stuff. We didn't really force it. And it's just like one day, just sort of like, oh, we can maybe do like a real world product. Oh, maybe we can do a drink because the Rec Guy's holding a drink. Let's have a go at like doing that stuff. And eventually, the pieces just fell into place and it all came together. But it was very organic. It wasn't like May 2022 Rec Guy Mint, and now this is what we're going to do. It wasn't anything like that. So, yeah, I think bear markets are tough, but you just have to be prepared for it. And I think the main thing is just like show up every day, even if it's just for like 10 minutes every day, show up and then get on with the rest of your work. But it's important to keep the lights on, basically.
Of course, yeah. It's amazing that you've done that. So credit to you. It's a huge, not everyone can. So amazing. Going on to kind of what we're seeing in TikTok, how have you managed to capture the TikTok investor with Rec Guy, or is that not in your plans, or are they too captured by Chill Guy, for example, the TikTok investors?
Yeah, TikTok's a tricky one because we're all like millennials, so I don't use TikTok. Like, no one on our team uses TikTok. I don't think anyone in our community uses TikTok, but it's obviously a massive thing. And we want to attack it. I think with the drinks that we have, there's a good route to getting it in like the TikTok mix. And there's obviously TikTok shops. You could potentially sell drink through people who are active on that. It's the next, like the Web 2 social media growth is the next phase of what we want to do with TikTok and Instagram. But it's just about making content on there that I think is appealing to people who watch TikTok. I don't think we have that content yet. Like, I think our content right now is appealing to people in crypto, which is fine because like people in crypto generally have a lot of money and they're good people to have in community. And that there's a rec token. So that's what drives the token. So I'm fine focusing on crypto right now. But I do, for the rec holistically as a whole, I think it's important to get onto the whole like TikTok stuff. But again, I don't want to just force it. Like, I don't want to just create a TikTok and post random shit on there that's not successful. I think there's a strategy to do it. And we have a few ideas. So yeah, hopefully this time next year we have a presence on there, I would say.
Yeah, I feel like Rec Guy is contributing more to the Web3 culture. I feel like maybe TikTok is a bit of a flash in the pan, maybe. We don't know. It's only just begun, so we don't know if this is going to stick around or if this is just a normie wave of people getting quick, obsessed with getting rich quick. It'll be interesting to see if TikTok's still talking about meme coins post bull run. So be interesting.
Yeah, I think that's going to be interesting. I don't know. I mean, meme coins post bull run is going to be interesting because I think a lot of things will go to zero, and a lot of meme coins.
What has more longevity, NFTs or meme coins? What do you think has got more longevity?
I think NFTs have more longevity than meme coins because NFTs will have some sort of residual value that you can like enjoy and appreciate, I think. The other thing about meme coins is there are communities that run them, but a lot of these are CTOs. A lot of these are people like doing stuff part-time to like get things going. They have obviously financial incentives. Then once they do it really well, they like slowly sell it off basically. And so with when you have like a bear market and post bull run and people have sold off their positions, no one's going to just rant. Like if you're like, oh, I'm in the Mudeng CTO group, you're not going to like, you're probably spending very little amount of time working on it, and you're not going to spend any time working on it like after it's all said and done, right? Whereas something like Rect, for example, and this is not to like shill what we're doing, but I'm not like post bull run. I'm not just gonna be like, oh yeah, it's all done. See you later, lads. Like that's not what I'm gonna do. And we've obviously like just been through this whole. I just mentioned how we carried Rect Guy through a bear market, so we'll do the same. And what does that mean? Like, does it mean in 3 or 4 years' time, Rect Coin is going to be the most valuable thing, or it's going to be Rect Guys? I don't really know. Like last time it was NFTs. Now there's a Rect Coin. Like it could be something different in 3 years. I don't really know, but I think it's important to like keep adapting and stay in tune with the market. And I think it's important to keep rewarding your holders. And so like Rect Guys were obviously rewarded with Rect Coins. And I think in the future, we want to just keep rewarding the community, basically.
Amazing, Joseph. Right, don't go anywhere. We'll continue the conversations. We're just going to have a quick advert break, and then I'll be back with the more words for the Paris NFT week. I'll just play this for everybody at home. Oh, it's got no sound.
As Harry Potter, Obama, Sonic 10, and you coin media reporting on Harry Potter, Obama, Sonic 10, and you. Ticker is Bitcoin, breaking 1 billion market cap. Now, unless you have money, go ahead and visit
HPOSNI.com.
There you go. Bit of a technical difficulty, but we did it. That's Bitcoin. I'm a big fan of Bitcoin. I should actually buy into it. I don't actually own any Bitcoin. I should have just bought Bitcoin to begin with. Then I wouldn't have to be doing any of this, because now it's nearly 100K. So, who blew and didn't tell me that? Right, the third question, the third word is XRP. Oh, we've had Rect Guys, Moondeng, and now XRP. And let's bring OSF back. Let's talk about XRP. It's going off. I've got an amazing video. I'll play this before we get into it. Does this give you top signals? Here we go. Let me play this video. Here it is. Wait, that's not it.
See the middle letter. And then the Lord showed me driving down the road about X and P. But I won't give the other one because this is not financial advice. But I saw that certain thing going above $10,000. And I saw it going to $5 quickly. And the Lord told me that this would be big, like Apple, Microsoft. It would be the new .com era.
What do you think of that? Did you see that?
I think XRP is definitely one that's caught me off guard. I think it's caught a lot of people off guard. It's caught CT off guard, right? Because everyone's like, oh, this is just a dead coin. It's never going to do anything. And then, it's had this crazy, crazy run. Is it top signal? I don't know. I actually think my perception of it is that I think it's the start. It means we're actually pretty early in the cycle, because I think what's happened here is it's not just XRP, by the way. It's like a lot of all these original altcoins, if that makes sense. I think what's happened here is like Bitcoin's almost hit 100K. People have been through Thanksgiving and stuff, and they've been like, oh, people who were in crypto maybe 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, and have left. And I think they've seen this and they've been like, oh, look, like Bitcoin's all the way here and all this stuff is still down. I'm going to buy all this stuff. Because they're coins they know. They're coins they maybe even feel safe in, because it's like, I know what this is, rather than new shit. And I think that's what's happened. And I think in past cycles, you've had Bitcoin massively, massively lead and Bitcoin dominance skyrocket. And then you get this point where Bitcoin dominance tops out and it drops off, and you have the alt season, basically. And alt's done terrible this year, but like maybe this is actually a point where they could start to do well, and they are starting to do well because Bitcoin dominance has topped, and people are like, cool, like now I feel comfortable gambling on the other stuff. So that's my perception of it. I think it's actually potentially, I don't view it as a top signal. I think it's, I I think it's potentially the start of like this, a big move in alts.
Oh, nice. Yeah, look, I saw somebody talking about we've got 100 days now. It's all going to go parabolic. And then 100 days left, they said. Do you think that 100 days left?
Who knows? It's tough to really judge, isn't it?
It's hard, isn't it?
It's tough to judge. Yeah, I don't judge it by days. I just sort of like judge it by feeling, basically. But I think we keep going higher and stuff into like mid-January. I feel like Trump's inauguration might be a bit of like a local top. And then if the US brings in a Bitcoin reserve, then that's when things get very interesting, I think.
And you're very bullish on this month being a giddy month in the market.
I think this is going to be a big month. This December's going to be a big month, I think.
Well, it feels like a good Christmas for me then. Yeah, I'm here for it. I've overinvested in my own projects, which is the most stupid thing I think you could do. Because I've now got overinvested in my own projects.
That's all right. I mean, I've always have been as well, and I think it just means you believe in yourself, and I think it's a good sign to the community. So, like, why not? I reckon.
Well, that's what I've always thought. Every time I'm buying my projects and doing it, I'm like, no, I've got the control system here. I believe in myself. I can do this. So that's why that's why I haven't felt the kind of fear of buying more or spending on marketing or doing this to get them going. I launched an AI agent last week as well, called Stoned AI, which is the first ever stoned AI agent, ladies and gentlemen. So that's quite exciting. Have you thought about AI agents? Are you bullish on them? Would you incorporate an AI agent into the Rec Guy universe?
I thought about it. I don't want to just jump headfirst into it because I don't know how well they'll do and how long they'll last. So let's see. The worst thing is like to jump on a bandwagon and then like that bandwagon crashes and you're like, oh fuck, I have this like random AI thing. So yeah, definitely keeping tabs, but we'll see if it's something that makes sense for Rect, I think.
I like it. Well, I'm one to jump on every bandwagon that rolls into town. Moment the bandwagon comes in, I'm partying on the back of it. Probably not the best advice. Take OSF, he's more successful. Should we talk about art memes?
Let's do it. Big topic.
Art meme coins, sorry. What the hell is happening in the art meme coins? There, you're tweeting about it, and we've seen the girl with the pearl earring, a classic, pop off over the weekend. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I think it could be a big thing. Like, NFTs have struggled and artists have struggled and all that kind of stuff, but why can't, like, it's a controversial thought, but I feel like why can't an artist like have a meme coin and put out loads of art, and instead of people buying the art, they just like buy the meme coin as a sentiment of how much they like the art to express it. And the benefit for the buyers is it's liquid, so they can like buy and sell it. Whereas if you buy one-of-ones from an artist, it's like very liquid. You generally buy it and it's a sunk cost. You can't get your money back. But if you just want to speculate on an artist, you're like, cool, I'm going to buy this artist's meme coin. If he does really well and puts out like good memes, good art, then his meme coin should go higher. I think Fwog's a really good example of that on Solana. And I think Bohm has obviously done very well as well. There's a few of them. So like, I really like that as an idea. So that's one idea. And obviously, people are talking about this Mundi thing, and you had Ban as well, which ran. I think that's interesting too. Like, something like Mundi, it's like the most expensive painting ever sold. And let's just say there's a meme coin where the value, there's no mechanical value to it, but it's just like a sentiment thing. If I'm the owner of that painting, if I'm the owner of an expensive painting, I'd be like, yeah, let's have a meme coin and let's let like people just like pump this thing as high as possible, because then I can go turn around and say, oh, look, this meme coin is now worth more than the actual art. This means that art is more valuable. So I can like say the art's worth more, if that makes sense. So I think it's a really interesting thing, and that, that opens up the idea of like just tokenizing everything basically. And I don't think you should tokenize everything, but I do think for art, which is something people like to speculate on, but historically has been relatively illiquid, definitely illiquid in real life physical art, generally illiquid now in NFTs. Like maybe it was quite liquid for a period in 2021, but definitely not anymore for non-PFP type stuff. But having this sort of like coin which has no mechanical value, but it's just a case of like buyers and sellers, and an expression of sentiment. I think that's really interesting. I think.
Yeah, no, the way you word it, it is interesting because of art. It's in a way it's like fractionalizing a piece of art, but not, because it's not technically attached to the art itself. It's more attached to this narrative of the art, like we saw in Ban, which I completely fumbled that bag because I had it at like 1 million, and I sold it. That my impatience just sold it straight away. But that ran to about 40 million, maybe more. But you're right, we saw that in Ban, and it's kind of based around the sentiment and the narrative and the hype around it. So it is an interesting new paradigm, I think, with meme coins and with art intersection. I thought about NFTs. Why not each NFT in one collection, all spurting out? Not all of them, because it'd be mad. But if the owner of the NFT wants to take the IP of the character, they can make a meme coin based upon the character within an NFT collection. It's an interesting thought, no?
Yeah, that's an interesting idea. I think that's an interesting idea. Yeah, but it needs to be like, you need to cast a wide net. I think with the meme coin, it can't be too specific. But I don't know. Who knows? Like some of the best meme coins are just characters, right? Like Moondang's a character, Chill Guy's a character. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong there.
Speaking of Moondang is now listed on Coinbase. I've got that news here. Let's see.
Yeah, mental, right?
Yeah, and that's I think the 8th, or I don't know what number it is, meme coin to be on Coinbase, and the lowest market cap of I think is Floki, or at 2.1 billion on Coinbase, and this is sitting at 500 million. So if Coinbase have the incentive to pump the Moondang token, could be a good buy. Not financial advice. It's just if you're reading into the market cap of the other coins. So it's interesting. What's your thoughts on Moondang?
I think it's like one of the biggest memes this year, both inside and outside the outside the Web3 and crypto space. And
bullish on the hippo or not bullish?
Yeah, I like it. I'm just like, it's one of those, I've never really owned it and sort of missed out on it. So I sort of always feel a bit like, you always feel a bit salty about that stuff, don't you? But I think it's really good. And I think it's mental that Coinbase has listed it, because they've gone from listing no memes at all for a long time to listing Pepe and Whiff, which is fine because they had already listed Pepe and Whiff perps, and they're coins that have been around for a long time and multi-billion-dollar market caps and very established. And so that was sort of like, it was a big surprise, but it's like, yeah, fair enough, that makes sense. But to now list like a new coin, like relatively new coin, when did it come out? September. So to list a relatively new coin, it's quite a big move from Coinbase into the meme space. And I think that's really bullish for all memes, to be honest with you. Like any large cap meme, I think is bullish. But the ones that I think they're going to list, I reckon, are ones that do massive volume and have a large amount of holders. And so Moondang obviously is like been in crazy volume on perps and has over 100K holders. It can make sense for Coinbase to list that because they're onboarding lots of people, right? Another one I think they could look at is potentially Chill Guy, because that's, it's very similar, like big TikTok meme, very big in the normie world. It has like 150K holders, does a ton of volume. Like that's another one that sort of fits into that bucket that I think could be interesting, but maybe it's a bit too new for them to list it. Might need to prove its value for a bit longer. But yeah, it's very bullish to see Coinbase and Robinhood list these big cap meme coins now, because I think value trickles down. I think, people will sell into that. They'll start buying other stuff. It will all help the entire ecosystem. So very, very bullish, I think. And
Coinbase versus Binance, do they both have the same pool as Coinbase has the bigger pool?
I think Coinbase is the bigger pool here because Binance isn't accessible for a lot of people. Like you can't get Binance in the UK here. You can't get it in the US anymore. Whereas Coinbase is like listed on the New York Stock Exchange. It's regulated, and a lot of people have access to it. So I think Coinbase, in terms of like, how many times have you told your mate to buy something? buy a shitcoin, and they're like, oh, I can't find it on Coinbase. And it's like, well, yeah, it's not on Coinbase, is it? Whereas now you can be like, oh, like, you know, go buy Mudeng. Yeah, it's on Coinbase. So I think that makes it's a big difference. I think Coinbase is, because they're also just by virtue of like scarcity, like Coinbase has listed far fewer coins. So it has a much more of like a novelty type feeling when it gets listed, I think.
And I was reading a Phantom trending page also has a bit of an effect as well on these meme coins.
Yeah, I was seeing Easy post about that, and he was like, yeah, just buy the Phantom trending page, and you know you can't miss. So I haven't tried that strategy personally, but yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Like Phantom is like, even in the UK, Phantom's like the 7th or 8th ranked on the App Store. Like, that's mental. Like I don't know any of my mates who have Phantom, but I bet you there are loads of people who do. So yeah, it's pretty incredible, I think.
So when that app gets the #1, that's the time to sell everything, no?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, that's
signal?
probably the top, isn't it? That's what people say.
What else we got? We got NFT. Going back to NFTs. These are the prices. I don't know if you can see these, but let me move myself over. It's been a very bullish weekend for the NFTs, hasn't it? Let's hide this. What are your thoughts on these floor prices going back up?
It's good to see. I think and hope it's a sign of things to come. I think it is. I don't know. We've had, as I said, like we've had glimpses of this stuff in the past, and then it gets faded for like, you know, pretty quickly. So, I think, you know, if you make a lot of money on meme coins, if you make a lot of money in crypto, how do you flex that? You can only really flex that by buying and showing off really expensive NFTs. Like, you know, someone who's made millions on meme coins, they might go out there and buy a zombie punk, and it's like, oh man, like, yeah, this guy did really well, sort of thing. Like, I think, or you know, go out there and buy an autoglyph, something like that. I think we will see more of that. I really do. I think we'll see more of it.
Oh, exciting! Well, we could also go out there and buy Crypto Leo, which they flex, which is still
one of the greatest NFTs there are to exist, for sure.
Rock and roll. Thank you, OSF. We've seen Pump.Fun is on the news. Let me get the news back. Hold on. We've seen this. The prices are plummeting. The revenue is plummeting in Pump.Fun, down 66%. Is this going to be trending downwards now? Is the live streams over for Pump.Fun? What are your thoughts on all that chaos?
Yeah, well, you know, obviously the live streams were bringing in a lot of
attention,
bringing a lot of activity for them. And now they've turned it off, so you know the revenues are down from that. I don't think it's the end of Pump.Fun. Like, I just think it will keep going until eventually it gets blocked or stopped or halted by a regulator. I don't know under what grounds someone could do that, but you know, maybe they'll be fine in like the in the Trump presidency. Who really knows? But I don't think it will just go away. I think people still want to gamble and stuff. Basically, you just don't have the video stuff, which was kind of funny but a little bit dicey. So yeah, it was degenerate. Not going anywhere. Sorry.
It was degenerate. I mean, I launched my coin on the Monday of that week via a live stream, MEMECOINS forum, and I launched it. And then as the week progressed, and you know, in the late hours of the night when I'm drinking Monster cans, I'm a bit psycho. But as the week progressed, it became like real psycho town. Psycho even for me, where I was a bit like, oh my god, this is a bit much.
Yeah, exactly. It is. It's a murky world. I've never been a big Pump.Fun guy. Like, I think my game is more to get involved in stuff that have like bonded and a bit more established. But yeah, it's pretty mental.
No, it's the Wild West. Another word for everybody watching this show, and thank you for watching. We're doing this every day, Monday to Friday, on our YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. Art memes. So we've got Red Guys, Moondeng, XRP, art memes, which I'm a big fan of art myself. So the idea that art memes can pop off. Do you hold any art memes at the moment, OSF?
Art meme coins, you mean?
Yeah. Art meme coins.
Yeah, like I've dabbled in a few different things. Like I've dabbled in WOG before. I don't hold any of that at the moment. I miss BOEM, unfortunately.
Same.
Like dabbled in Mundi, missed Ban. You know, like all my friends were telling me
Same.
about Ban and didn't touch it. I like it. You know, I like art and I like trading, and I think lots of people out there do. So it makes sense to me. I think. You obviously,
Yeah, I think that
have
the
worked in well,
Web3
so-
space as well is built on art a lot, especially the NFTs. But I saw someone posting about how it's all now, you know, the meme coins that are doing the best also are just packed with art content, and so it's still very connected to the art world. Let's see if there's anything else in the news for Monday. No, there isn't. So before we finish, have you had a good time?
Yeah, always have a good time with you, Gersh. Always have a good time with you.
Rock and roll. And some word of advice for anybody who wants to get into being a creator in the NFTs or meme coins. What's your biggest kind of advice for people to get started if they're new to the space and also new to wanting to create in the space?
I think try to do something new, but try to do something you believe in. I think that's the most important thing. You know, trying to do something to fit a mold will never be sustainable because you won't truly enjoy it. So just have an idea and feel some passion about it, and then go out there and do it. I think that's the most important thing. I mean, it's easy to say this, tough to do, but like, you know, try and do something where it's not just about making money out of it, but it's doing something because like you have a passion for it. I think I think if you can do that, then the rest will fall into place, I think.
Beautiful. Beautifully said. And the last word for today to join us and see OSF speak. You're speaking at NFT Paris next year, yes?
I'll be at NFT Paris, yeah. Speaking on a couple of panels there. We're going to have a bunch of rec drinks there as well. We have a big stall in the middle of the conference. We'll have a rec drinks event as well. So yeah, we'd love to be in Paris in a big way for sure.
Amazing. I've got the rec drinks here.
Love it.
Again, loving it. I love the branding. I love the idea. I love the concept behind it. And they're non-alcoholic, but gives you the impression that you can still get wrecked. It's very groovy. The last word is Stoned AI. A little shield for my own project there. So if you come into our Telegram, which is here, and write those words, the first person to do it, Rec Guys, Moondane, XRP, Art Memes, and Stoned AI in our Telegram, we will reward you with a ticket to NFT Paris, which is taking place in February. I'm going. OSF will be there. I'm excited. Thank you very much, OSF. I know you're a busy man. You've got a lot to do. So thank you so much for joining us on the Daily Meme Show, and I'll see you soon.
Thanks a lot for having me. It's always a pleasure.
Rock and roll. And this is Monday, Daily Meme Show. My name is David Gersh. We'll be doing it Monday to Friday here on the X channel. So please stay in touch, watch, get involved. If you've got a meme coin and you want to be on the show, just hit us up with the DMs. I'm going to spend all night long now trading the trenches. So get the Red Bull ready, and peace and love. See you soon. Oh, I'm going to put on a little advert. Here it is. Oh.
Let's get fucking wrecked, everybody!
Nobody's done a meme coin conference. What the fuck? Like, why hasn't this happened?
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for me to go?
honor of MEMECOIN.
What started as like an idea back in December, but we both weren't sure what this was going to happen at some point. It's just it's been just an incredible experience. Bringing this back to Nisbet has just been hilarious.
It was a pleasure.
For everybody here, like I really appreciate all of you. We want to make this the biggest fucking community event in the whole of the food zone. And I just hope you can come with us everywhere we go. So yeah, thank you very much.
Yes. See you on the next one. Peace and love.